Hello students. Today in our biology session we are going to discuss the diseases caused by helminths. So for that, first we have to discuss about helminth. What is helminth? Helminth is a general term that means worm. Worms, I think it is common term. You can see the two types of worms are there. One is round in shape, one is flat. So these are known as roundworms and these are known as flatworms. So the helminths are invertebrates, means they are not having any backbone or vertebral column. So they are invertebrates characterized by elongated, flat or round bodies. In medically oriented schemes, the flatworms, they are known as also platyhelminthes. So they include flukes and tapeworms. Roundworms are mainly nematodes. This group are subdivided for convenience according to the host organ in which they reside. Like in lungs, if they are known as lung flukes, extraintestinal tapeworms and intestinal roundworms. Helminth diseases are mainly known as helminthiasis. So helminthiasis is prevalent globally. 1/3 of world population harbor them, but more common in developing countries with poor personal and environmental hygiene, mainly poor sanitation or open sanitation system. They are commonly transmitted through fecal oral route. Already so many times I have discussed in the health and hygiene chapter. Thus gastrointestinal tract becomes the common site of lodgement, means their residence. First disease caused by the helminths are filariasis. Filariasis, the causative agent of filariasis is Wuchereria bancrofti. Filariasis is a pathological condition caused by infection of filarial nematodes or filarial worms, roundworm mainly, transmitted by different vectors. Infection occurs in blood vessels, lymphatic system, connective tissues and serous cavities of man. The disease mainly occurs in the tropical wormlands, caused by different worms and are characterized by different clinical features. Now, what are the symptoms? When the person is asymptomatic, means not showing any visible signs and symptoms. Patient have hidden damage to the lymphatic system and kidneys. Lymphatic system actually is like the blood circulatory system. In the blood circulatory system, in the blood vessel, blood is mainly flowing, and in the lymphatic system, through the lymphatic vessels, lymph, that is also one type of fluid connective tissue like blood, is flowing. So for the asymptomatic patients, they have hidden damage to the lymphatic system and the kidneys. For the acute case, attacks of the filarial fever, pain and inflammation of lymph nodes and ducts, often accompanied by fever, nausea, vomiting, and if the disease is chronic, more severe. You can see in the diagram, this is the condition of the leg, like the elephants. So this disease, also known as elephantiasis. swollen, swelling of different types of organs like leg, scrotum for males, breast for females, like that. Now this is the transmission cycle of the disease or helminth. So first, actually it is transmitted via vector, already I have told. Vector here is the mosquito, Culex mosquito. So like the malaria, it is already told that the mosquito, here it is infected, means it is carrying the helminth in its body. So when an infected mosquito bite the healthy person, it deposits the larval stage of the worm on the skin, and the larva entered through the wound. Now what happens? The larva migrate to the vessels and the lymphatic system, where they developing into the thread-like adult worms. You can see here adult worms, they are forming inside the lymphatic vessels. These all are the lymphatic vessels, like the blood vessels, where the lymph fluid is flowing. So adult worms, which typically live 5 to 7 years, damage the lymphatic system, causing infections that result in the blockage, swelling and fevers. Actually, you think when through a vessel any fluid is passing and anything is there to block that vessel, the fluid can't flow properly, so obviously there will be the accumulation of that fluid and the swelling will be there. So for the blockage in the lymphatic vessel, the swellings are there in the different organs. Fertilized female worms release embryonic offspring, that is known as microphyllary. It is also one type of larval stage that entered the bloodstream. From the lymphatic system, it can pass to the bloodstream. And when another mosquito bites to suck the blood from the bloodstream of the patient, that larva can pass to the mosquito's body. Next, that mosquito, when goes to another host or healthy person and it bites, the larval stage can pass to the next host or the healthy person. Now next disease is teniasis. Teniasis, the causative agent of teniasis is Taenia solium. Teniasis are important zoonotic disease caused by the flatworm. You can see here the causative agent Taenia solium. It is a flatworm like the ribbon. They are found in intestine of human host. They pass through two distinct phases in two different hosts to complete their developmental cycle. Egg passed as they are living in the intestine of the human host. Through the stool or feces, the eggs of the worms can pass. And if that egg is ingested by any cattle, pig or another human, the disease can develop to them. Now what are the symptoms? Diarrhea or loose motion, fatigue or weakness, nausea or vomiting, bloating and gas, weight loss, stomach pain, and passing a worm in stool. Now mode of infection. Ingestion of infected cyst in undercooked beef or pork, because already I have told that two hosts can be there. One is human, one is any of the cattle, pig or any of the human. So infected cyst can pass to the human if they are taking undercooked beef or pork. Ingestion of food, water or vegetables contaminated with the worm eggs. Reinfection can be possible when there is the transportation of eggs from the intestine to the stomach of another human. Here you can understand the full transmission mode. First, human is the primary host. Eats undercooked pork containing tapeworm cyst. Cyst actually is the form of the parasite in which, or by making that cyst, the parasite can withstand the harsh conditions of the nature. So in that cyst form, it can be there in the pork or beef. So if human eats undercooked pork and beef containing tapeworm cyst, they will get the disease. So then the larva emerge from the cyst. So when the human ingests the cyst form, inside the human, from the cyst the larva form can come out, and then it attach to the intestinal wall. Then the tapeworm matures in the intestine and produce a long series of reproductive system, each containing thousands of eggs. So inside the intestine only eggs are produced. Now these eggs, as they are in the intestine, it can pass through the stool from the human body. Now what happens if there is open sanitation and human release the stools in the open field? The pigs or the cattle, which are the intermediate host, they can eat the food contaminated by the infected stools. See here. So what happens? The larva or the egg can pass to their body and it forms the larva from the eggs in their intestine, and from the intestine it can goes to the blood vessels and muscle tissue. Then larva form the cyst in the muscle tissue, and when these muscle tissues or the meat is ingested by the human being, again if it is undercooked, the cyst can infect the human being. Like that it can transmit in between the human host and the second host. It may be any cattle, beef or another human. Now prevention and control. Reduction of the source of infection means you have to reduce the source, means open sanitation, poor hygienic practices, because it can spread through fecal-oral route. Good personal hygiene, sanitary control of drinking water and food, proper waste disposal, avoidance of unprotected sexual practices, like that. Next disease is ascariasis. Ascariasis, the causative agent is Ascaris lumbricoides. It is a roundworm. Ascaris lumbricoides is the largest nematode roundworm parasitizing the human intestine. Ascaris lumbricoides is an intestinal worm found in the small intestine of man. They are more common in children than in adults. As many as 500 to 5,000 adult worms may inhabit in a single host. Now what are the common causes? Human feces or stools can cause contamination if an infected person defecates near a farming field or water source. The person can get ascariasis by eating or drinking the contaminated food or water, especially if they do not adequately wash the food or their hand. Same like the teniasis or any other disease that can be spread by fecal-oral route. You have to maintain your hygiene. Children may be contaminated by playing with soil or plants and putting their hands in their mouth, because in the soil only the contaminated stools are there. Now symptoms. People with ascariasis often have no symptoms. Symptoms become more noticeable when the roundworm infestation grows. Roundworms in your lungs, actually first it goes to the intestine and then intestine to the lungs, and then again it comes to the intestine to show the symptoms. So when it is in the lungs, it can show the symptoms like coughing, wheezing or shortness of breath, aspiration or pneumonia, blood in the mucus, chest discomfort, fever. After that, when it goes to the intestine, it can cause the following symptoms: nausea, vomiting, irregular stools or diarrhea. Intestinal blockage, it can cause severe pain and vomiting, loss of appetite, visible worms in the stool, abdominal discomfort or pain, and lastly weight loss. Now, what are the prevention? First of all, good hygiene is the best preventive measures in every disease. Avoid contacting soil that may be contaminated with human feces or stools. Wash hands with soap and water before handling food. When traveling to areas where sanitation and hygiene are poor, avoid water or food that may be contaminated. Wash, peel or cook all raw vegetables and fruits before eating. Dispose the baby diapers properly. Prevention of reinfection poses a substantial problem since this parasite is abundant in the soil. Actually, from the soil only it goes to the horse body. Good sanitation is needed to prevent fecal oral contamination from the soil. So, by that, today we are ending the session. Bye and have a nice day.